world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing.
Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
This just in. You
can do it!
Yes! All right, we're starting off the odd news. All right, you guys okay in your headphones? It got really loud. Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
That's better.
Oh,
right.
goodness.
So we had everything set for the singer, so it's really loud, and I forgot to turn it down. There you go. Now
All
you're...
right.
It's okay. I'm very timid usually.
Okay. All right.
It makes up for it.
So how about a big round of applause for those ladies?
Yes. Oh, awesome.
Beehive the musical this weekend at the Chihuahua Center for the Arts.
And you random person in your car that I can't see, I know you're not clapping. Stop it. Get to clapping right now.
Yes.
They deserve it.
Clap and drive. Clap and drive. All right.
Better than texting.
We're going to start off with the news attack where the first part is true and the second part is all made up. It's your odd news. Kicking it off, Daisy.
Okay, I get to pronounce this quarterback's name.
Oh.
Hang in there. Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. And I'd change my name, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Injured his elbow and will be out for the rest of the season.
Aw.
If that wasn't devastating enough, now comes news that the injury has also caused him to drop out of Dancing with the Stars.
Aw.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Daisy, because Christy Brinkley also had to leave Dancing with the Stars after breaking her arm during rehearsals. But, you know, honestly, if you weren't coordinated enough to get through a rehearsal without breaking an arm, you probably didn't stand much of a chance of winning anyway.
No. Vendors at a food festival in Japan set a new world record for the largest serving of fried chicken when they cooked 3,575 pounds of chicken.
Whoa.
Wow.
So how's that a world record? Because my family, the reunion, that's the first hour. Chicken!
Chicken. According to a new study, drinking tea is good for the brain. Yes.
Okay.
I seriously question that, though.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a session of British Parliament?
Oh.
You know, when people ask me what my political affiliation is, I like to say the Green Tea Party. You know, much of NBA fan gear is made in China.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't.
So the current trade war is actually pushing up the price of your favorite NBA jersey. So if you want to dress like your favorite professional basketball player, you'll now need the salary of your favorite professional basketball player. So get on that. Chop, chop.
You said the fan gear is made in China. Isn't everything made in China?
It is now.
I thought there was a ban against Chinese goods now. What do they call it? A tariff?
Tariffs, yes.
Tariff. It's not a ban. That's just
increased. So if you have to pay an extra fee to bring it into the country.
Okay.
All right. All right. Does that make enough sense? All right.
Yes.
An escaped emu. Ooh, it was spotted running along a California highway. It was a rare sight. Not the emu, but the sight of something actually moving on a California highway.
I know those feels.
It's like Seattle. It's like, let's go somewhere really, really slow.
Bring a good book.
Yeah, it's actually quicker during afternoon drive to walk from downtown Seattle to Bellevue than to drive.
Fun fact.
All right, you're up.
A travel company in Finland is creating a special vacation package.
Oh, the Finns.
Yeah. You can stay in the Arctic in a heated igloo-like dome for $100,000.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, if I pay $100,000 for a vacation, I want the most adventurous thing to be making a decision about which type of massage I'm ordering today.
Not how warm your igloo is.
That's right. You know, Luna and I actually with the kids went to go see It Chapter 2. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It just so happens that the top two movies at the box office are It Chapter 2 and Hustlers.
That's what I want to see Hustlers.
Yeah, and they're actually working on a crossover sequel.
So It and Hustlers.
It
mixed
and
together.
Hustlers, that's right. And if you look carefully at the plot line, it's a group of strippers that are chased by a murderous clown after they steal the money hidden in the toes of his big shoes.
Oh.
That's right.
This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo. Signing off.
Yeah, I'm going to. Did you hear they're developing an updated version of the Golden Girls?
I did not.
No.
Yes, it's called The View.
I like that show. Stop it. I'm offended.
You like The View?
Of course not.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know what The
me.
View is.
No, I have substance, Scott.
Okay, sorry.
I'm glad I don't know any of this. Who's the Golden Girls?
We should have left with the princesses.
I hope you're not really asking that question, Daisy. I hope you know who
Oh,
the
it was
Golden Girls
so
are.
cute when you asked the princess question and all the girls, all
Who's a
the
princess?
affiliations
Yeah.
before with winning the prizes of being Miss.
Yeah, that's funny.
It
They'd,
was
they'd
really
all had
cute.
some kind of award
Yes.
or notoriety or
very
Miss
cute
Chuila or
Yeah, I'm a 1 degree of separation from royalty.
And you were saying that I was counting them, and then you go, oh well, including me and Eric, we're 6 of us here.
6 princesses.
That's right. I'm still wearing my heels from the last time I came, Scott.
Excellent.
Yeah, and Eric, you knew how to do the wave.
That's right. You
The
spread
butter
the butter.
wave. What is it?
Spread the butter.
Love it.
Spread the butter.
Spread the butter.
I was told I could do it better than most girls.
You probably can.
Oh, you guys are good at that. Look at that. All right, I think Eric might be a little better. Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've never done it before, so I don't know.
It's been practicing since I was 15.
I've only elected myself as my own princess, so not publicly.
I'd elect you.
Oh, thanks, Eric.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go to
Are the
Britain.
princesses done? It's my turn.
princesses are done.
I get to do this one.
You do. It's my turn. You
It's-
did The View.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I don't want to.
All right.
I'll do it then if
All right,
neither of you
fine,
can
go
come
ahead.
up with something. In Britain, a pet tortoise that escaped 15 months ago was found only a few blocks away. He made about as much progress as I do in the airport security line.
So did you get patted down when you went to Vegas?
Did I get patted down? Yeah, but I liked it too much, and they sent me back to the end of the line.
Good one, Eric.
Eric's the only person in a security line to say, you missed a spot.
You know, it's weird. It's weird as a magician because I have so many magician friends that have horror stories about going through TSA because of all their props and stuff that they bring with them. Right? And I didn't have that problem ever because I don't have big props or anything. I do close-up magic most of the time, so I never have an issue like decks of cards and stuff. They don't question
have,
it.
like, knives
But one time when I was probably, I don't know, I think I was about 20. And I was doing a show in Sandusky, Ohio, at the big theater they have here, which Houdini actually performed on about 100 years ago, which was kind of cool for me. But I'm in TSA, and I see the guy. You know, he stops you with the hand, just like, hold on, you know, and then he has to look at the screen to see whether or not you're approved, and then he goes, "You see that chair? Sit in it." And I was like, "What?" And he has me sit down in the chair, and of course the chair is facing everybody coming in. It's like this chair of shame, like, oh, what did that guy do? You know? And the guy that's looking at the screen to the X-ray screen is just like calling more and more people over and pointing at it. And I was like, what is in my luggage? Like I don't have drugs or anything. Like what's going on? And a guy comes over, the first guy, and he goes, "What is this?" And he holds up a little prop I have, which is kind of like a tiny little doll arm that I use. It's hard to describe, but it basically, I have a coin on my hand, and I show that my hands are empty, and I say, "Watch, I'll make the coin disappear," and then the little hand comes out and grabs the coin. And so it's this little baby arm, basically. So
That's disgusting.
So I had to explain to him what it was and showed him, and he was like, "All right, we'll next time pack it like this, and it won't be a problem." And I just imagine the guy at the X-ray screen, what that must have been like, because he sees hundreds and thousands of items all day, just going, nope, like everything's fine. Can you imagine his face as he sees this tiny little baby arm going through the X-ray machine,
Eric, where
trying
did
to
you get
figure
that?
out what this is? But the funny part is when he told me, the best. He's like, "Look,
the best way to pack baby arms.
I know. So I wouldn't have that problem again. He says, "Oh, you gotta do it like pack it in your check luggage, something like this, and it won't be an issue." And I was like, in my mind, I'm going, technically, I could use that exact same information to pack a real baby arm. Like, you're not helping. You are not helping the cause here.
And this is the guy at the screen who saw the baby arm? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
I like that that's a string of them. That's wonderful.
Because I can't believe I went home after I saw baby
It's
arm.
coming right at us. Yeah.
I thought it was your pins that he was going to stop you for.
No, because I didn't have the journey jacket at the time. I didn't have the pins. I was alone and just
Okay.
not just normal.
I had
Very
a
basic.
similar situation, but they thought the microphone in my carry-on bag was a barrel of a gun. So they were
Like a
little,
silencer or
Yeah, they
something?
were a little more stressed.
Wow.
But that's all you had. Just like, what is he gonna do with just a silencer? Just make the sounds. Pew pew pew. Oh man,
Yeah.
it's so dangerous.
Eric, that could make a wacky but true story for sure.
That is.
It is a wacky
I would
but
agree.
true.
Actually, I want to come back to this recording and pull out his sound effects. Pew, pew, pew.
That's right. Let's go to wacky but true. How about that, Scott?
Daisy, kick it off.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. A man in Italy who followed bad directions from his GPS got his car stuck on a cliff.
Ooh.
He had to pay over $2,000 to have his car recovered from the location.
You would think that when you're about 20 feet away, you go, you know what? Maybe this GPS wasn't working.
Where are we going?
That's when your GPS starts playing this sound.
Hey, guess who's here? What are we serving tonight? Chicken or chicken?
And then you jump.
A Norwegian judge handed down what many teens might perceive to be a cruel and unusual punishment. He ordered a 16-year-old criminal to spend every night at home with his parents and banned him from a mall where he'd been doing drugs and shoplifting.
I like that.
The drugs and shoplifting or the staying home part?
Staying home with the parents.
Okay, good. I
Banned him
was
from the
worried.
mall because he was doing things that weren't good for him. So.
You know what's
And
funny?
anybody else, too.
You know what's funny, though? Eric does that every night, and he's okay with it.
I have a hard time believing that.
Oh,
Eric
that was supposed to play last time.
Eric is so altruistic, Scott.
Altruistic.
There's no way he would do that.
Altruistic.
He is.
Altruistic. I gotta look that
Say
up.
that three
Maybe
times
you're
fast.
talking about yourself, Scott.
I gotta look that up.
All right. Why don't you say that again, Scott? I didn't hear you the first two times.
Look that up.
Can we use that as a soundbite?
I gotta look that up. I better look that up.
You sound like
I wish I would have looked that up.
I gotta Google that.
I gotta Google that. What's he doing? Googling. Employees at a store in Middleton, New Jersey, called police to report shoplifting. Two women with children provided a distraction while a third collapsed a $300 stroller and then carried it out of the store without paying for it. Two other women then followed with their children in tow, but the thief was bound to be caught because she was so focused on stealing the stroller she forgot to put her kid in it.
wow.
Yeah, she left her child behind. One of the women came back, grabbed the child, and then ran off again,
Wow.
but they were all eventually
It
caught.
would be difficult to place a child in a collapsed stroller, but I see what your point is.
The funny thing is, I think it's funny that all three women working in conjunction still forgot a child.
Yeah, that's like, isn't that called negligent?
It's called tunnel vision.
Reckless negligence or something.
It's called being a bad mom.
Yeah.
No, dumbity dumbity. That's what
Right,
it's called.
exactly what
Dumbity-
that translates to. but-
Dumbity dumbity. No, actually, here is the problem. It's happening all across America.
Now, shrunken heads for all occasions. Collect them, swap them, give them to your witch doctor friends.
That's right. They had shrunken heads.
Okay.
On to passenger on
Yeah,
a plane.
an EasyJet flight from England to Spain was delayed. The pilot didn't show up for the flight. And here comes the hero. Passenger Michael Bradley, headed out for vacation with his wife and young son, stepped forward. He had his pilot's license on him, and he'd be happy to fly the jet to Spain. It took less than a minute to get a reply from the airline. Yes. It was an easy decision for EasyJet since Bradley is a pilot for the airline and is qualified to fly the plane being used.
Man, what are the odds of that?
Yeah, the odds of that.
Wow.
Excuse me, this is the operator, Captain Over. I have an emergency call for you on line 5 from a Mr. Ham.
All right, give me ham on 5, hold the mail.
And I will fly that plane. Yeah, best airline sound.
Have you ever
effect
seen a grown man naked?
And now a word about Eric.
Would you mind telling me whose brain I did put in?
And you won't be angry?
I'm the
will
mad scientist.
not be angry.
Abby someone.
Abby someone.
Yes.
Abby who?
Abby normal.
That's only on the weekends.
Only on the weekends.
That's right. You know, a lot of schools have stopped giving students F grades, speaking of shrunken heads.
Okay.
But the Katy, Texas Independent School District has outdone them. Oh. They've eliminated D grades from their system 2.
No,
Gasp.
dumbity.
It used to be that C meant average. Now it's the lowest grade any student can get. Well, a C minus is technically, but that will also be dropped in 3 years.
No negative.
A school district spokesperson said, I think the students do put a lot of pressure on themselves, and I think they sometimes engage in some unhealthy competition in trying to earn that certain GPA. We would rather them approach their high school career with balance in mind.
Wow.
You can do it!
You know, I was watching Joe Rogan's special Strange Times last night, and he actually mentioned something. He says, we're nerfing all the sharp edges in the world, and all the dumb ones are making it. It's. I think that it's really you don't want kids to feel bad, of course, but you do need to encourage them to do better. So if you constantly remove the obstacles, all you're doing is going, oh, look, everyone's a winner. Now you get a participation trophy just like everyone else.
Oh,
well, you'll have to listen to my happy news coming up because it is about positive education and training a child from the inside out, basically focusing on their well-being. The grades and everything else fall into line. And then there's other theories, beliefs that you don't need a grading system for the younger ones, especially that starting right out, maybe later. But there's no grading system. It's like assessment. It's more of assessment, and I think some of the
need to work on this, need to work on that
I
kind of
think
stuff.
Montessori does that. I think there's a different type of system where it's not like the letters.
Well,
It's
because look what that does
assessment.
to kids when
use a separate system.
I'm a that what'd you get on your report card? I got 2 C's and 3 D's.
And there's that competition. Oh, my
and
daughter, she
then
was
they
like,
feel bad. And
she had to have A's all the time, super hard on herself. It was
Opposite end of it,
and
right?
then all of
Yeah.
a sudden, in her senior year, she finally let go, and it was the best thing she could do. And she goes, she still made a really good GPA, but it was a tough.
I don't
thing for her
know
to let
about
go
you
of.
guys, but I always felt like if you received a score from something, a number value to denote what your actual your score was on the paper or the test or whatever it was, that felt more, that was more effective emotionally than putting a letter grade. Because a number feels harder, it feels more concrete. It feels worse to me. I don't know how it feels.
60.
Well, it's relative because you're looking at the data and it's based on what the data is, and maybe it's something you're interested in. You get a 95%, but then something that you need, you don't really care. It's like you get a lower score. So, I think it's
kids
really
aren't inspired or challenged anymore to want to do better. All they know is that if they work hard, they may kind of do okay. There's no real reason for kids to want to do well in school. They don't, besides going to college, because people are constantly saying, well, you won't even need a degree these days. They don't have a goal to set for themselves.
Well, and that's why this new kind of happiness training is coming in for schools. These new groups are coming together to change that curriculum to how does the child feel, their emotional well-being. And when they're feeling good about themselves and their social connections, they're going to do well because they've got that bonding and they've got that support.
Well, even
and they feel better about themselves.
Look back, I know, and I don't know if you guys will say it applies to you too, but there were a few classes in school that were just fun.
Yeah.
They were fun to go to, and those are actually the classes I think I learned the most from and took the ones
that's a prime
that had
example.
a fun
Prime
learning
example right
environment.
there. If you can make all the classes like that.
Theater class, dance class, when I was...
Those are kind of things that tend to be fun anyways, though. I'm talking about taking a math class and making it fun. That's a challenge.
I had a good math teacher and a good history teacher. My history teacher was animated. My English teacher was animated. She also taught theater. I don't know. I seen it.
I didn't really have any classes that
were fun.
that were specifically... that where the teacher really tried to make it interesting and fun. I mean, my English class with Mr. McLean, he did a pretty good job, but I mean, there was nobody trying to go above and beyond to make the class different or intriguing or make kids really want to learn.
I wonder if that's because a lot of teachers, and I don't know, we'd have to bring one in and talk to them if they feel like sometimes their hands get tied by what, government requires. The Common Core stuff and all that, where their hands are tied, and you got to do this and this and this and get it all in, or else your school's behind.
Or you're
grant money.
You're restricted by policy.
Yeah, there's a whole mess of red tape that causes problems too, I'm sure.
Yeah. And that's a lot of what these educational, positive psychology educational summits are doing, is they're wanting to change policy. And they're actually meeting up with the policymakers, governmental officials.
Every
one,
school,
if you want to look up, is H20.
And this is not odd news.
Yes, this is that. But actually,
this is a debate.
Biology and chemistry were my worst. I mean, I could not get
I think
into
every
those.
school needs a Miss Frizzle.
I have a school sound effect.
I'm not a biologist.
Yes. I would like to use this school sound effect to bring it all back around.
You have permission. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Scott.
Then, as of this moment, they're on double secret probation.
And that is your odd news and our show for
Tuesday.
I'm Scott.
I'm Daisy.
I'm Eric.
He is Eric. And now,
Magic Man.
What's going to happen? Something wonderful.
Wondered maybe they never find me. I've been waiting such a long, long, long time to feel it, swallowed by the waters around me. I know I took so many wrong turns to see it. Whoa, but I danced through the blisters at night, and I laughed till I cried and cried. I ran till my feet couldn't run no more. I sat till my lungs were burning, till I know I'm alive. I sit till I can't hear voice no more. Suddenly the sun